What's up, guys? Anime here again, and you guys know the drill. Here bringing you guys another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Now this one happens to be a standard battle. This is against Senior G. I met him off the Cerebi chat room. I made some new pokes, so I thought I might try him out. So yeah, here we go. I lead off with my Swampert. He leads off with Machamp. I know that my Dynamic Punch is coming because that's what all Machamps do. So I stay in because my other pokes can't take it. And I'm a little confused. I still try to surpass the confusion and go for the Stealth Rocks, and luckily I do, which helps me a lot. So I get my Stealth Rocks up. I know I can survive one more D-Punch, so I stay in, and I try to get an Earthquake off, but he gets a crit. So not off to a very good start. I mean, I got my Stealth Rocks up, but that's pretty much it. I go into my Beyblade. That's a pretty cool nickname if I say so myself. And I go for a Psycho Cut, but that's pretty obvious, so he switches out into a Scizor. Does a decent amount, being that it resists. So I switch out here, expecting a Bug Bite, and I go into my Heatran. And he goes for the Bullet Punch. I take it pretty well, and here I predict his switch, and I go for a sub, and he goes into his own Heatran, and I'm like, oh crap, there's pretty much nothing I can do to a Heatran. I mean, I could go for a Dragon Pulse, but that wouldn't do too much, and he'd just Earth Power and break my sub, and then probably kill me. So here I want to switch out. He goes on to his Swampert, though. If I knew he would have switched, I would have stayed in, but I switch out, and I lose my sub. He gets a little leftovers from the Stealth Rock damage. I Brave Bird. I'm pretty sure a Brave Bird plus Max Attack, plus Life Orb, and Stab would KO a Swampert. But he tells me he survives with 1 HP. I ask him if he has a Sash, because I'm like, who the heck puts a Sash on a Swampert? And he tells me no. So with that answer, it could only mean one thing. That this was no Swampert. I was playing against the one and only Chuck Norris. Yes, Chuck Norris. Because nothing in the world could survive a Brave Bird like that besides Chuck Norris. I go for the Bullet Punch, and I'm totally forgetting that Chuck Norris is the black belt in karate. So he takes it like a beast and survives with 1 HP again. And he gets the rest off, which sucks, but whatever. I try to kick my way into Chuck Norris, try to weaken him with kicks, but he takes him with ease, being that he's a black belt, like I said. And I get tired of this, so I just go for a D-Punch here to finish this thing off, because I know it will. So I go for a Dynamic Punch, and I'm not sure if I got minimum damage, or it's just because Chuck Norris is that great, but he survives again, which is ridiculous, I mean, honestly. So he gets leftovers, and I go for a Bullet Punch to KO this thing, but he switches out, which is weird, because my Stealth Rocks are killing him when he comes in. So yeah, I get the Mega Kick, just in case he did stay in, and that takes a respectable amount to his incoming Machamp. I go for a Bullet Punch, and of course, Chuck Norris switches his disguise and goes into the Machamp, and he survives with 1 HP once again, which is just epic. So he D-punches me, and good thing I carry the Lumberry, and I go for a Bullet Punch, which will take out the Machamp. And I don't care who you are. If you have 1 HP and I Bullet Punch you, you're going to die. So he goes on to his Flygon. I know it'll outspeed me, so I go for a Bullet Punch. Once got out the move, and I leave this thing as Death Adder. Once got out the move, but I went for the Bullet Punch to do some damage. So yeah, he ends up going for the Outrage, which is good for me. So I go into my Heatran to resist the Outrage and to get the Dragon Pulse off. So yeah, I take the Outrage pretty well, and I do get the Dragon Pulse off. That will be more than enough to KO this Flygon, being that this thing's so fragile. So yeah, I get a crit, but it didn't really matter. Like I said, it was more than enough to KO that thing. And I get a little lefties. He goes out into his own Heatran, which he knows I can't take. But I try to go Boom here, but he goes for the Earth Power, which he does pack, and he does KO me. Sucks for me, but whatever. My Heatran goes down, and I go into my Crystal, aka Suicune. He's going to withdraw here, obviously. He's not going to want to take a Surf, so he goes on to his Bliss, and I Surf the Bliss, and the Bliss is going to take it like a beast, just like every other Bliss. So yeah, he takes the Surf, and he gets a little lefties. I switch out here and go into my Gallade to try to get the close combat, but he ends up toxicating me. I wanted to stay in with my Suicune because I do have rest, but whatever. I mean, it didn't bother me too much. So I go for this close combat here, and he goes on to a Scizor. And with the help of Stone Edge, I'm pretty sure this close combat would KO. So yeah, I go for a close combat, and that does KO. I get the defense drops, and yeah, I just continue to get hurt by Poison and Life Orb, which I don't really mind. I could still, survive for another couple hits. He goes into his own Heatran, and I switch out here, go into my Suicune, just because I want to take an Earth Power, and I want to save that Gallade for the Blissey later on. So yeah, he Earth Powers me, and my Suicune's going to take it like a beast, and he goes into his Bliss again, taking a little bit of Stealth Rock damage. I predict his switch, and I go into my own Gallade forcing him to switch again or just to take the close combat and die. So yeah, I go for another CC. Even if he switched into his Heatran, see, the close combat would have done a respectable amount, leaving it vulnerable to the next attack. So yeah, he ends up staying in, which is awesome for me because that Blissey goes down, and you know, I'm pretty sure we can all say that Blisseys are such a pain to deal with. I mean, they may be good on your team, but when on the other team, oh my god, just the most annoying thing ever. So yeah, he goes for the Dragon Pulse into his Heatran. I expected to outspeed, so I go for the CC and stay in. But I then figure out he Scarfed, which is just ridiculous. Who carries a Scarf Heatran? But apparently he does, and it paid off. So I go out into my Crystal just to take the Dragon Pulse, and I go for the Surf after I take the Dragon Pulse, and that would be more than enough to take it down. So the Heatran goes down, and he goes into his Swampert, which is, Chuck Norris, which is the last Pokemon. I thought Stealth Rocks would kill him, but a bunch of Pointy Rocks isn't enough to kill Chuck Norris. So I killed him off with the Surf. So yeah, great game. Comment, rate, subscribe. This is Anime, and I'm out.